Hi, I'd like to welcome you to this neck release and strengthening class. This is a short sequence that will take you through how to strengthen your neck muscles and how to release them. So there's two different things, and I think especially as we age and we get a bit of arthritis in the cervical spine, we really need to strengthen the muscles around the neck so that we can support the spine and that we don't support all the weight from the spine. This is where we get into pain. It's not only that we hold the muscles in stress, so we hold the jaw, we hold the neck and the shoulder complex when we're stressed, and this also creates problems. So it's kind of a twofold thing that we're working on here, strengthening the neck muscles and releasing them from stress. So the first thing I'm going to show you is just a simple exercise to strengthen these scalene muscles here that are in the front of the neck. And a lot of us have really weak muscles here for whatever reason. I guess we just don't use them very often. And this is why we do any kind of abdominal work where we have to move our head, that our head can get quite heavy and the neck just can get really injured afterwards. So this will help to really strengthen these muscles, which should be supporting the neck when we're doing these ab work. So I'd like you just to take some fists, and we're just going to push the fists into the top here as I resist against it. So it's not like I'm not putting a lot of resistance on it, just enough that you can feel. Yeah? So I'm pushing down with my head as I'm pushing up with my fists. And we're just going to hold this for like a count of 10 to begin with. Not forgetting to breathe. And then release. And you'll notice that I'm not taking my spine I'm not taking it into flexion or anything. I'm just kind of maintaining a neutral cervical spine. I'm just slightly pressing up. And now let's hold it for 5. And then release. You can take the neck from side to side, the head from side to side. Just releasing. And we'll take one more, just holding it for 3 counts. Just a nice light press. And then releasing. And so we're going to do this also to the side. Just taking and pressing on the side of the head that we need to counterbalance. Just a light pressure. Yeah? It's holding to a count of 10 here. And then releasing. Let's come back and hold to a count of 5. And then release. And then holding to a count of 3. And release. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So just taking the opposite side and taking the same light pressure to the top of the head and just moving a bit against it, the head. Strengthening the side neck muscles. And then let's release it. Not forgetting to breathe. And then once again, nice gentle pressure. Release. And then one more here. Just a short one. And then release. Now I'd like you to interlace your hands together. They're going to come to the back of the head. And here we're just going to push back on the head. Back into the hands. As we're pushing forward with the hands. So the hands are moving in opposite directions. My hands are moving forward as my head is moving backward. And then let's release this. Let's do one more, just holding it a bit shorter. And then release. And now I'm going to maintain my hands on the back of my head as I do something like a cat-cow. So I'm always pressing back on my hands. As my hands are pressing forward, I'm going to expand my chest as I look slightly up. And then exhale as my spine rounds and elbows come towards each other. Always maintaining contact with my head and my hands. So they're opposing forces. Exhaling as I come into cat. Inhale, expanding the chest. And exhale, coming forward. Let's just take one more. Inhaling. And then exhaling together. Let's come forward to neutral now. And now we're going to do the same kind of movement where our head is pressing against the hands but coming into a twist. So one side of the elbow comes towards the other side of the knee. So the other knee, let's say, but not all the way down. And then coming in the other direction. Maintaining the hands contact with the head. So my hips are remaining on the floor. It helps to sit up on a blanket. And I'm twisting mostly from my waist and my thoracic spine. See if you can maintain a neutral cervical spine. So I'm not twisting my head. Yeah? I'm pretty much keeping my head into neutral here. And let's take one more to each side. And then release. Now I'm just going to take my shoulders up in a shrug. And then release. Up. And release. Up. Release. And let's just take one more. Gathering all the tension and then letting it all go. The last exercise will be with eagle arms. So I'm going to take this time my right elbow over my left. And if you can, you take your palms of your hands together, or you come as close as you can to this. It doesn't need to be exactly like this. And I'm going to take my elbows to one side as my head looks to the other side. And really trying to maintain this neutral neck coming in the middle, and then the arms come to one side as the head comes to the other. And so I'm moving in the direction of the arm that's underneath. I guess you can move in this direction too, but it's a bit more awkward. Moving in the... So my left arm is underneath, so I'm moving off to the right side. So that's a bit clearer maybe. I mean, you can do it the other way too, but you'll notice that one way is a bit easier to move a bit farther than the other way. Let's come back to the middle, and now we'll change the arms and do the other side. So arms come off to this side, and my head is rotating in the other way. This time my right arm is above my left, so my head is moving to the right, to my right, and my arms are moving to my left. And just as a nice balancer, let's release this one and just come into a bit of half circles. So I'm clasping my hands and then taking them to one side of my waist and just allowing the ear to come to the shoulder of the opposite side. And just finding if you have perhaps some kind of tension in the neck. And we're just going to do little circles with the chin, just moving over that shoulder, If you find a particular place that needs a bit more attention, then take a bit of time there. You can also do half crescent rolls from one side to the other if that feels good. Just important to take into account the range that you have in your neck and just taking it really slow. Just finding where these lines of tension might be and just trying to iron them out. Let's release, taking the head back to neutral, and let's come off to the other side, clasping the hands around the waist, both hands, so you have a nice chest opening here. And then taking your head to the opposite side, into small chin circles, just feeling where that tension might be. Taking it into half crescent if that feels good to you, or still maintaining a bit of small circles, trying to find where the tension might be lying. Seeing what kind of mobility you have in the neck and not going beyond that. We're just here trying to be aware of our own bodies and trying to find where we need to put a bit more intention. And so coming back to neutral, you can release the hands. Taking a big, nice breath. Feel your spine now in neutral, your neck neutral, head weightless on top of the spine. And then carry this release of the neck into your day. Anytime that you find yourself in a position where you can be aware, make sure that you're not clenching your jaw or raising up your shoulders or clenching here at the neck. This is all a matter of awareness. A lot of times we go through life and we don't even know what we're doing. We don't know that we're clenching our jaws or whatever until we have this habit of being aware of what we're doing. So just try every now and then. Some people make a timer that reminds them to be aware of what they're doing with their body, and you'll be surprised how much you might be doing that you're not even aware of. I remember when I was in New York City and you could see a reflection in the subway in the window across from you, and I'd be sitting in the seat and my whole jaw would be, I wasn't even aware of it. So it was no wonder I had problems with my jaw for a very long time. So it's just these little things that you can do during the day. And so these are good methods to retrain how we use our neck muscles and the shoulder muscles and the jaw muscles. But in the end, it's these little things of just being aware that will bring also a whole lot. So I hope you enjoyed this practice and see you in the next video.